read two, or partially read and talk about two books that are kind of different, but they're both about Christmas. The first one we're going to talk about is One Christmas Wish. This is a book that I just got into the library. I haven't put it up on the shelves yet, but I wanted to do this book talk with you guys before I put it on the shelves. So remember, as we have been talking in the library about how to choose a just right book, right? We look at the cover, and I see that the title is written in cursive in nice, pretty gold letters. There's a picture of a little boy riding a horse, and you know I'm gonna like that because it's about a kid riding a horse, right? We love horses. We turn the book over and we read the synopsis. This book's a little bit different because it has a synopsis in the back and on the front cover. So we're going to read both of those before we read the first couple pages. A shooting star, he whispered. He closed his eyes and clenched his fist and crossed his toes and bit down on his tongue. His father always said, when you wish, you have to wish with every inch of your heart. And that's from the story One Christmas Wish. Also going to look at the synopsis in the front. Remember, the synopsis gets you hooked, right? It makes you want to read a little bit more of the book. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to get you hooked. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. I'm just going to read you a few pages so that you want to read more. A young boy's Christmas Eve wish on a shooting star leads to an adventure with an ever-hungry rocking horse, means he's always hungry. An angel whose rings are molting means the feathers are falling off. A robin who has forgotten how to sing. And a rusting tin soldier in Kathleen Rundle's classic Christmas story with Emily Sutton's gorgeous paintings. So in both books that I'm going to read you today, there's going to be some really pretty artwork. We talked about in the book with no pictures. Some books we can imagine, and some books have such awesome artwork that we don't have to imagine. So this is a book about a little boy whose parents are always so busy that they can't take care of him at Christmas. That he has a babysitter. He has to put the Christmas tree together by himself. It's kind of sad, but some people have Christmases like that. Not everybody has a perfect Christmas. Sometimes Christmas is hard on people. So this is a story about how a little boy makes his Christmas a little bit better and teaches his parents a better way to look at Christmas. I'll read a few pages and then we'll move on to the next story, Kate. Katherine Rundell is the author. Emily Sutton is the illustrator. It was Christmas Eve and Theodore was fighting a cardboard box. The box was winning. Someone had been very enthusiastic with their use of packing tape. Someone had thought that it was important that the box stayed safe. The tissue paper was as old as the decoration themselves. It smelled of spices and old perfume. Most of the decorations were baubles. Baubles are like those big glass balls. And most of the baubles had been cracked in half. Theo frowned as he looked out as he took them out. You should not be able to cut yourself on Christmas, he muttered. That's not in any of the Christmas carols, because Christmas is supposed to be all happy, but sometimes it's kind of hard on people. But at the bottom of the box were 4 decorations that were different. A rocking horse, a robin, you know, a robin's a little bird with a red chest, right? A tin soldier with a drum, and an angel. The angel's wings were molting, the feathers were falling off, and the soldier's drum had rusted. The robin had developed a bald spot, and the rocking horse's rockers had been partly eaten by a woodworm, kind of like a moth that eats worms, or eats wood. Theo hung them on the tree next to the lights that didn't light. He wasn't tall enough to reach the high branches, so he started throwing an angel on top of the tree. When that didn't work, he wedged her in the branches. He arranged the broken baubles the best he could. Theo found an old box of decorations on top of a cupboard. His parents had no time to buy new decorations. They had no time to buy a turkey. Both of them were at work. An envelope with gift cards inside was the only present under the tree. So all they got was gift cards because they were so busy. Theo tried to fold the envelope into a more exciting shape, but it didn't help much. You mustn't stay up too late, his parents said. We'll be home tonight. But as soon as you can, you absolutely promise? We promise, his mother had stroked his cheek with one hand. Her other hand was hunting in her purse for her phone. The babysitter will cut you a nice big slice of fruitcake. Won't that be nice? Theo made a face. Nobody in the world actually likes fruitcake, he thought. But he was a polite boy, so he only said, why isn't Mrs. Goodyear babysitting me? She didn't give a reason, his father had said. She only said she couldn't tonight, and she's getting rather old anyways. The neighbors say she's becoming a little peculiar. Peculiar means a little strange. I like her. Actually, he said, I love her. Sometimes Mrs. Goodyear talked to herself, but she gave him chocolate cake with cheese, which is surprisingly delicious. And she sang to him at bedtime. His parents had asked the babysitter to help Theo put up decorations, but she had fallen asleep at the kitchen table with her nose pressed against her phone. There's that phone again. Everybody's just worried about their phones, huh?
My mom.
Like your mom. Theo swallowed. He looked out the window because it was less difficult than looking at his tree. As he looked, he saw a star. It was soaring across the sky, blinking red and green. A shooting star, he whispered. He closed his eyes and clenched his fists and crossed his toes and bit down on his tongue. His father always said, when you wish, you have to wish with every inch of your heart. Theo thought about his heart beating hard under his 4 layers of sweaters. The house was cold because Theo couldn't reach the button for the heating system. He wished with every inch of heart he had. I want not to be alone tonight, he thought. It's sad he's alone before Christmas, right? I wish for someone to be with. I wish to be unalone. He hoped shooting stars did not care about grammar, because unalone's not really a word. He wished so hard that his skin prickled and it tingled on his head spun. Behind him, the tree rustled. Theo whipped around. The tin soldier was unhooking the loop that held him to the branch, swinging down from the tree. The angel was trying to fly. Her wings were too threadbare to catch the air, so she sat there, looking half excited and half annoyed. Flapping. The robin's wings, on the other hand, worked beautifully, but a twist of wire at his feet was keeping him fixed to the tree. The rocking horse was trying to chew through the string. Its tongue kept getting in the way. Excuse me, said the rocking horse. Could you unhook me? Theo closed his eyes. The world, he thought, had gone mad. He counted to 10 and opened them. But the world was still there. The decorations still there. The tin soldier was sitting on his shoe and singing a marching song. That's all I'm going to read about that one. Are you interested in reading more?
Yeah.
Does it sound like it's something that we want to read more about?
Yeah.
I wonder what happens. I wonder if they really, those decorations really come alive. Do you think they do?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he has a wonderful Christmas adventure.
I see.
You think so? Make a quick prediction. Sophia, what do you think is going to happen in this story?
I don't.
You don't know? Anybody have a prediction? What's your prediction? Okay, what's your thing?
That his wish is gonna come true. Then he's gonna the mom and the dad is gonna stay.
That's a
And
really
mine-
good prediction.
And buy him gifts like he never had.
I like that prediction. Thank you so much. The next book we're going to read is my favorite book from my childhood.
Jolly Old Santa Claus.
So I had this book not this exact book, but a book like this, the same title, when I was a little kid. And I'm kind of a nerd and I really love Christmas. And so I read it all the time, even in the middle of July. Because this book has the best pictures ever. I love the pictures in this book. So we talked about, it does look real, doesn't it? We talked about the book with no pictures where you have to imagine everything, right? This book that leaves nothing to the imagination. The pictures cover the whole page and there's details in every single little corner. So we see Santa's elves decorating the tree, and if we look really closely, we see that every little elf is doing something crazy. This elf's falling down. They're using a ladder. There's an elf down here trying to pick up a ornament, and it's too heavy for him. It's December 24th, so that's Christmas Eve. So as we read this book, we're going to really look at the pictures, okay? I'm not going to read the whole thing again because I want you to read the book on your own, okay? Ho, 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 chuckled jolly old Santa Claus as he stroked his long white beard and laughed. Mrs. Santa Claus and all the little elves came over to see what Santa was laughing about. What is so funny, they asked. Ho, 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 yeah. This is a letter from a little boy, said jolly old Santa Claus. Can you guess what he wants to know? The elves all tried to guess. Will he get a train for Christmas? Will we find his new house? No, chuckled jolly old Santa Claus. This little boy wants to know if we are busy at the North Pole. Are we busy? Shouted the elves. We most certainly are. The North Pole is the busiest place in the world just before Christmas. Come with me and we'll visit the North Pole. Then you can see for yourself what is happening here. So here's another one of those awesome pictures. There's so much going on. Everywhere you look on the page is something different that you can see.
The elves look like Santa the Grandpa.
They do, don't they? Let's first stop at the cookie kitchen. That'd be my favorite place. Look at the elves scurrying about with smudges of flour on their aprons. How hard they are working. Oops, Grandpa Elf fell. The big sack of flour is too heavy and he was walking backwards in the kitchen. There's Jingle sitting on top of the oven, telling the other elves how to place the trays of cookies so they won't burn. Aren't you glad when Christmas comes and you can eat cookies? But we must hurry on. There is so much to see. It's kind of cool pictures. It must be Mrs. Claus making the cookies. Here's the candy kitchen. Santa and the elves are making candy canes, lollipops, peppermint drops, and cotton candy. Look at the elves pouring milk into the pot for fudge. Ooh, fudge is my favorite. Uh-oh, one little elf has tripped over Santa's cat, Lady Whiskers, and spilled the frosted brownies. Santa and the elves are making a lot of candy to fill the stockings of good little boys and girls. Now let's go to the toy shop, where wonderful toys are made. And all those amazing candies they're making. Yummy. Isn't this a wonderful place? Everyone is busy, except for Lazy Elf. He is riding the rockabye pony when he should be working. Jolly old Santa Claus is checking his list of toys. Airplanes, trains, drums, blocks, dolls, teddy bears, and bouncing balls. There are so many toys to finish before Christmas. Do you see Lady Whiskers? She is Santa's favorite cat. Do you see Merry One falling down the stairs? I think the Jack-in-the-Box frightened him. Look at the clock on the wall. It's getting late. Christmas will be here soon. While the elves are in the toy shop finish the toys, let's see about the Christmas tree. You guys are gonna have to see about the Christmas trees on your own.